As you can probably tell, my portraits aren't amazing, but that's perfectly fine, just means there's a lot of room for improvement. Hey guys, welcome to another Attribution video. Today, as you saw in the intro, we are going to be drawing a portrait every day for 14 days and seeing what type of improvement I can get. Now, I haven't really drawn that many portraits, so I'm really hoping this will help improve my skill. So let's get right into it and see what I did in day one. So I used this picture as my reference. So then I started drawing, and I really tried to match the proportions and shapes of the shadows as well as I could, but I feel like the hardest part of this whole challenge for me has been matching the proportions to the reference. However, I was still pretty happy with it as a first attempt. So here's the finished drawing, and let's move on to day 2. Here's my reference. Alright, so on day 2, I definitely noticed some improvement in just how well I blended these shadows into the form. I was definitely still struggling with the proportion, but I felt like it was definite progress. Here's the finished drawing for day 2. Now let's move on to day 3. So this was my reference, and one thing I definitely noticed in this portrait was that the reference had really good, strong lighting, and that definitely taught me to be more careful with what reference I pick, because it definitely makes it much easier when you have a heavy light source to accurately make the shadows and to make them look good. So here's the finished drawing, and here's my reference for day 4. Now I do think I was still improving with just the skin tone and the shading. However, I didn't like the hair of this piece. I was trying out a new style and it didn't really work out, which is fine. It's just a learning experience. So here's the finished piece, and here's reference for day 5. So for this one, I did try out a new way to get the proportions more accurate, which I do think helped. However, I still didn't really like the way this one turned out. It's perfectly fine. Whenever you're trying to improve a skill, there's always going to be dips, and you're always going to make something that you're not completely satisfied with, but that just fuels you to go on and improve and make something even better next time. So here's the finished drawing for this one, and now on to day 6. So for this one, since I was feeling a bit more confident, I decided to try to draw Han Solo, and I think it went really well. I think this was kind of a turning point where I started implementing all the mistakes I'd made in previous ones and really improving the quality. And I'm really happy this one turned out so well, because Han Solo is one of my favorite characters of all time. I've just really liked him ever since I was a little kid. So here's the finished drawing for day 6, and on to day 7. So for this one, I'm drawing Abraham Lincoln, and this is now halfway through the challenge, and I'm feeling really good at this point. I'm definitely seeing a noticeable improvement in my skill, and my knowledge of the anatomy has improved, of how the shading works together has improved. So already I'm very grateful that I did this challenge, because it has definitely helped. So this is the finished drawing for day 7. Let's see day 8. For day 8, I drew Dwight Schrute, who is my favorite character from The Office, and I think he turned out pretty well. The proportions are a little off, but I'm still continuing to improve, I think. So here's the finished picture, and let's go on to day 9. So for day 9, I did something a little different. I actually had a D&D game coming up, so I decided to make my character for the portrait of the day. So I used the two references, mixed them together to make my character, and I think he turned out really cool. So here's a finished drawing, and let's move on to day 10. So for day 10, I'm drawing Helly R from Severance. And if you haven't watched it, it's a great show, by the way. And I think I drew this one pretty well. The hands are a bit wonky though. So here's the finished drawing for day 10, on to day 11. And for day 11, I'm drawing Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride, which is another amazing movie, by the way. So maybe I should rename this channel to Bujamin Tells You Good Movies and Shows to Watch. Anyways, I think this one turned out pretty well. Here's a finished piece, and let's go on to day 12. So for day 12, I decided to draw Doctor Strange. And as we get near to the end of this challenge, I'm very happy that I decided to do it, because I've noticed that my efficiency especially has just gotten so much better. So now I can just make something that looks like what I want it to look like, and also 20 times faster than I could have before this challenge. So yeah, here's the finished drawing for day 12. Let's look at day 13. For day 13, I'm drawing the Terminator. And as I make more of these portraits, it just gets easier and easier, and I feel like they just keep getting better as well. This one was super fun to make, so this is a finished drawing. Now let's go on to the last day. Alright, so we're finally at day 14, the last day of the challenge, and today I'm drawing Rocky Balboa. And I am just really happy with the results of this. I've gotten so much better in these past 2 weeks and so much more confident. I definitely plan to keep it up, maybe not every day, but definitely more common, and see what my progress is like in a few months. And here's the finished drawing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the whole video, and if you have recommendations for video ideas, you can leave them down in the comments. And while you're down there, maybe leave a like and subscribe. And while you're waiting for my next video, you can watch this one. You might like it as well. See you later. Bye.